Hey, so how's it going for everybody? Um, I'm so thankful. I have to get creative with where I know actually it's not creativity at all. It's more like accessibility and you gang stalkers. I feel sorry for you. I'm like, okay, let's put it this way. Christmas can be such a wonderful, fun time, in our journey towards the day of celebration. But honestly, everybody's welcome to enjoy the season or not enjoy the season, however it works for you. But I've experienced every spectrum of it, so I'm just I'm ha- I'm freaking happy exactly right where I am. Doesn't really matter where I turn up. I'm gonna turn it up where I end up. So it doesn't really matter. And I've made peace with the fact that I'm on assignment for the Most High. So everything has been a wonderful journey. So it's kind of like everything that the enemy meant for my destruction, God used it for my protection. Used it for my protection, and then used all of the fuck shit to sharpen me, because iron sharpens iron. And so I'm like, okay, I've like I said, like it's even gotten progressively worse. I am I'm a perceived victim of directed energy weapons. Look up Havanna syndrome to get a better idea of it. It's like all the gang stalking without using the terms gang stalking and maybe not even the terms of targeting of any individual. But yeah, your best way to research gang stalking is to look up Havanna syndrome. So, but I mentioned Havanna syndrome because it covers directed energy weapons, and they use microwave radiation waves to aim at people. And I've been a victim of it since a perceived victim since the age of 10. So, and this is how I know that I've been a perceived victim of directed energy weapons since the age of 10. Um, is that if for people who've ever been to a chiropractor, and the chiropractor might use massage technique and then use the electrodes that they put in places on your back or wherever, and then it like sends an electrical pulse little wave that will contract, and then relax the muscle. So every time it sends the pulse of that electrical wave, it contracts the muscle and then it relaxes it. That's called a transdermal electrical neural stimulus. It's a TENS unit. The acronym is TENS, transdermal electrical neural stimulus, so that's, contract the muscle and relax the muscle. But as you're gaining the therapeutic dose, you'll feel the electrical stimulus. It's kind of like a tickle, a little tickle. And so, whenever I was a kid, I was about 10 years old, and like exactly 10 years old, I'm pretty sure of it. I was sitting at the kitchen table, and this is what one of the ways you can tell a directed energy weapon is hitting you, is that it would feel like one of those TENS units that sends electrical stimulus. You can feel that on your back without the TENS unit hooked up to you. And so when I was a kid, I was always analytical. And I'm like, what is that? It used to bother me. Like, this is something I should be concerned about, but I couldn't articulate it. I probably should have told my mom and dad so we could have had it documented. But I'm like, and I asked myself, well, how do you feel? Well, I feel okay. So then just deal with it, So and it wasn't just once or twice. It had a pattern. And so I just, what could you do about it? And then whenever I got gang stalked this time around, that's a description I heard that I learned that was one of the signs and symptoms of being hit with a directed energy weapon. So that's how I know I've been a perceived victim ever since the age of 10. And I am now a woman of a certain age. I'm 54. 5'4". So I've been groomed as a chosen one for a long time for all of this, to be able to deconstruct and take a look, because I've been in encyclopedia brown mode ever since this shit happened. So for you guys who don't know, Encyclopedia Brown, it was a children's story for like about fifth graders, about 10-year-olds, and then younger and older, that this boy, Encyclopedia Brown, but that was his name, he would solve these mysteries. And so I loved it as a kid, and so I always consider myself a regular Encyclopedia Brown throughout the entire journey. So I'm like, I was aware in the spatial time of time, and how things will come up and they'll represent themselves later, and they'll link other notions of a story into the groove of said item. So I'm like, okay, so now that I know that I've been hit with with directed energy weapons since the age of 10, I've 44 years of it, and ever since getting targeted at the Texas Renaissance Festival. I'm like, I grew up at the Renaissance Festival too. So it's like, we have businesses that are of privilege of existing courtesy of the Most High. So with the Renaissance Festival, shout out to the ones that had founded it, but you guys made it the practicum of gang stalking. So don't get mad at me whenever I throw out the information out there. I love you guys. I want nothing but the best for the Texas Renaissance Festival. But whenever you go and gang stalk people there, and then people die there, and you hide the real reason the death had incurred, I can speak to that. I will not right now. I don't care anymore. I know God's got me. So anytime anybody comes at me, especially with your magic, with your witchy voodoo and shit, I think it's freaking cool. But use it ethically. So, but with all of that negativity, it doesn't stick to me. I've escaped the Matrix. For reals. And you have to be a part of the Matrix for that, back here. For that witchy shit stuff for it to work. So it's not going to work on me. It's just going to bounce back right to you. So I would suggest to hold off on abort all all witchy spells on me and my family, because I was ascended and I'm not part of the Matrix, so none of it's going to work. So yeah, I can talk about that another day. But I'm taking a day off today. So, but yeah, that's that is my lesson for today, and how I'm able to know for damn sure whenever I've been perceived victim of directed energy weapons. That's how I know it's been since the age of 10, because that shit used to really bother me. I'm like, how could this be happening? Oh, there it goes again. Okay. And you just ignore it after a while. That tickling sensation, it was in my mid-back, mid-scapular. Pretty sure of it, because that same damn feeling would come up intermittently in the background. And ironically, where it was affecting, I think I have like a little bit of a thickened skin there. But whatever. Directed energy weapons. But maybe somebody out there that resonates with my talks, because I'm very niche of my specialty here, which happens to be gang stalking. And people are like, gang stalking doesn't exist. I'm like, okay, mad respect to that if that's your fool ass opinion, but did you even research it? Did you even go to a targeted individual monthly meeting at targetedjustice.com? Because it's alive and well in every one of the 50 states. So if you haven't experienced it, maybe you might want to hold off on gang stalking doesn't exist. I'm like, that's just the programming. You have to be critically thinking and independently thinking to understand, overstand, and the such, and process and masticate the information that we're like in the Cold War, y'all. It's fucking bad. It's Orwellian age, George Orwell, where it's like 1984 and Big Brother is just pre-K because it's really big bread, and they're trying to the whole targeting of the individuals, the sacrifice circuit run by covens. Which actually is Nazi ideology, which really means that the Nazis are trying to be the New World Order. All the signs pointed to it, really. Like, they tried to overtake the world, beginning with the concentration camps during World War II. How do you get a concentration camp without somebody going, hey, Bill, what's going on there? How you doing? What are all these emaciated people doing in your backyard? So how do neighboring cities get concentration camps and the other neighboring city not notice that or do something about it? Well, guys, it's kind of like what we're looking at over here. We got a problem. Let me tell you about it. Did you know that FEMA has 800 to 900 erected FEMA prison camps right now throughout our United States? Well, if you don't know, you might want to go research that because it's pertinent to you. How is it pertinent? Well, let me tell you something. In the event that our country ever goes into martial law, guess who gets to be Grand Poopah? And I mean Grand Poopah. You know, the racist kind? The unethical, evil kind? It's FEMA. Yeah, FEMA. And a couple of surveillance private companies. I'll put it in the title. I kind of forget them right now. I got a headache, but it's okay. It'll go away. So, yes, that is my experience of this is how I know. But then this here started where it just kind of went into a pattern, like somebody lit a match and it went across my face, the melting of the teeth. That was ever since Texas Renaissance Festival 2020. And it just stayed with me, the gang stalking. So, but it actually had done some gang stalking in 2018. But honestly, like I said, I think they're like the practicum of all the gang stalking in the world. And, but the Renaissance Festival being a byproduct of the Most High, I can go there. I grew up there too. I remember whenever the mud show was that big mound in the middle. That's how far I go back. So I'm Iranian, and I have a right to be established in the Texas Renaissance Festival just as much as the next guy. But just because I go and spill the beans on you guys doesn't give you a reason to put a sourpuss foot up my ass. I know there's the one out there that knows what I'm talking about. Whatever. All I know is that I'm worthy enough to be addressed. So thank you. But nonetheless, yeah, guys, look up Havanna syndrome and really poke your nose around in that to get the feel of the gang stalking, the targeting of the individual being addressed in the World Wide Web as labeled by Havanna syndrome. You might as well call it gang stalking, group stalking. I mean, like, it's socially acceptable to admit stalking happens in singles, but mention group stalking. Now we're talking crazy talk. Seriously, whatever. But anyways, thanks for listening. I love you guys. Bye.